That morning felt different. I was in the kitchen, making tea, while soft sunlight gently touched the courtyard outside. Everyone in the house was busy with their own tasks. But for some reason, my heart felt restless. Then, a voice came from behind. "Bobby, this sunlight feels so tender, doesn't it? Almost like someone placing their hand gently on your head." I turned around. Arif, my brother-in-law, stood at the doorway. On his face was that faint smile that always left me with more questions. "You see a hand even in sunlight?" I asked, laughing softly. He stepped closer. "Yes. Because sunlight only lasts until the clouds arrive, just like some relationships." His words sank into me. I couldn't tell if he was joking or hinting at something deeper. "What do you mean?" I asked clearly. Without meeting my eyes, he replied, "I mean, good moments should always be preserved. Whether they belong to sunlight, or to belongingness." Arif's words always carried two meanings. One that was clear. And one, hidden, somewhere deep inside. And each time, I wondered, was that hidden meaning meant for me? At the breakfast table, he did it again. "Bobby, the parathas you make, they taste so different." I smiled. "Different? I just add a little ghee in the flour, that's all." He leaned closer. "Everyone adds ghee. But your hands, they are different." I noticed the sparkle in his eyes. "And how are they different?" I asked. He smiled. "Because they carry warmth. And warmth can't be bought in any market." Slowly, I realized, Arif spoke like this only with me. With everyone else, he was completely ordinary. But in front of me, his words always carried another color. One evening, I was on the terrace, hanging clothes to dry. From below, his voice rose, "Bobby, be careful. The wind is strong." "Oh, I'm used to balancing myself," I replied. Looking up, he said, "Some people balance themselves out of habit. Some with support. And some, just with someone's presence." I went quiet. My heart wanted to ask, am I that presence for someone? But I silenced myself again. Maybe it was just his way of speaking. Yet, the suspense within me kept growing. That night, when everyone was asleep, I stepped into the courtyard and saw him sitting in a corner, writing something. "What are you writing so late at night?" I asked gently. He quickly folded the paper and hid it. "Nothing, just about the weather." "Show me," I insisted. He laughed softly. "No. Because only the weather can understand it. Maybe you too." Something in his tone stole away my sleep. The next morning, he asked suddenly, "Bobby, if someone likes something, can they take it?" I frowned. "What do you mean, something? Like a book? Or a memory? Or a moment?" he replied. "A book, yes. But memories and moments, no," I said. He smiled faintly. "Some people take them anyway. Without asking." That's when the storm of questions began inside me. Later, he asked, "Are you feeling hot?" "Yes, a little," I replied. He smiled. "Then this shade is for you. But remember, shade only protects from the sun. It doesn't take the sun away." Again, his words carried two meanings. "Why do you always speak in half-truths?" I asked. "Because half-spoken words force people to think. And when they keep thinking, that's when relationships grow deeper," he said. One evening, I saw him watering the lemon plant. Suddenly, he said, "Some things need daily care. Otherwise, they dry up." "Yes, like plants," I replied. He looked at me. "And like relationships." I lowered my eyes nervously. He always said relationships, but never named which one. One rainy day, while everyone slept, I went to the terrace to collect buckets. There, I found Arif watching the rain. "Bobby, the smell of this rain, it's so different, isn't it?" "Yes, it's the fragrance of wet earth," I nodded. In a soft tone, he whispered. "Some people are like that too. When you meet them after years, you still feel the same fragrance." My heart raced. Was he talking about me? His words, his eyes, his silences, they were awakening something new within me. Another evening, while I was making tea, he said, "If something is preserved carefully, it becomes more precious." "Yes, like old books," I replied. "Or like someone you hide away from the world," he said softly. My hands trembled. The cup spilled over. That night, a gentle knock came at my door. I opened it. Arif was there, holding a small box. "This is for you," he said. "What is it?" I asked. He smiled. "Open it tomorrow morning." "Why not now?" I asked. "Because some things only make sense when the time is right." I couldn't sleep all night. My mind kept circling around that little box. When morning came, I opened it. Inside was a tiny key. At the breakfast table, I asked, "Whose key is this?" He laughed. "It's the key to a door that opens only at the right moment." "Which door?" I asked. "The one that hides answers." "But first, the questions must be right," he said. His words left me even more tangled. Was this some game? Or was there truly a hidden secret? The next morning felt different. Cool wind filled the courtyard. But inside me, there was a strange warmth and unease. All night, I had thought about that key. At breakfast, he looked at me and said, "Sometimes, the key is in our hands. But we're too afraid to open the door." I stared straight into his eyes. And what if that door was never meant for us? He smiled. "Then at least find out what's behind it. Because unknown doors always take up space in the heart." That afternoon, while I was hanging clothes, he came near and said, "These colors, they're so beautiful. Like memories glowing in the sunlight." "They're just clothes, not memories," I said. He whispered, "Some memories are like this too. They fade, unless someone takes care of them. Then they shine again." I went silent. Every word of his pulled me closer to the unspoken bond between us. One evening, after the rain, I went to the terrace. Arif stood by the railing. "Bobby, do you know what a drowning man remembers first?" he asked suddenly. "What?" I asked in surprise. "The face that means the most to him," he said softly. My breath caught. "And your face." Looking into my eyes, he whispered, "Some things should only be said at the right time. Otherwise, their meaning changes." His silences were now weighing heavily on me. It felt as if he was deliberately pulling me into a story, making me wait for the turning point. The next day, the house was empty except for us. He came into the kitchen and said, "Have you ever wondered why the things we want the most always come to us the latest?" "Maybe so we can value them more," I said. He smiled faintly. "Or maybe, to test us." That evening, he handed me a small envelope. "Keep this. But don't open it yet." "What's inside?" I asked. "Just an answer. One that will end all your questions." "Then why not now?" I asked quickly. He laughed. "Because the real value of an answer lies in the journey of questions, not in the destination." All night, I tossed and turned. That envelope. That key. Those words. Were they just coincidences? Or part of a deeper plan? In the morning light, my eyes fell on the envelope. I held it in my hands all night, but I didn't open it. That day, Arif knocked on my door. His eyes carried the same tangled glow. "Bobby, remember the key?" he asked. "How could I forget?" I said softly. "Today, it's time to open that door." We walked to the back of the house. There was an old wooden room, one I had always seen locked. Arif looked at me and said, "This door can only be opened once. And when it opens, the truth behind it will never be hidden again." My heart raced. He placed the key in my hand. "You open it." With trembling fingers, I turned the key. The door creaked open. Inside, the room was dusty. But in the corner sat a large chest. Arif gestured. "Open it." I lifted the lid. Inside were piles of old letters, photographs, and a diary. On the first page, it read, "For those moments that could never be spoken." I flipped through the pages. There were details of our everyday life. My first smile. The way I got drenched in the rain. The taste of the tea I had made. Every page felt like a silent confession. With a trembling voice, I asked, "Did you write all this?" Arif whispered, "Yes. But this was never an affair, Bobby. It was just my way of preserving your silent joys. So that one day, when I'm far away, you'll never feel alone." I was stunned. All those days of suspense. The double-meaning words. The key. The envelope. Everything was just leading to this moment. So I could know that someone had cherished me silently, without ever crossing a line. Finally, I opened the envelope. Inside was just one line. "Sometimes, the most beautiful relationships are the ones that never have a name." And that's where our story ended. But inside my heart, something new was born.